miss those skills and those insights that you have because...
Apparently we're live. Well, I've gone live 8 minutes early, but oh well. I'll just put a post out on here. How do I share this? Share this. Too many places I've got to share this. I'm just waiting for a few people to join if you're watching now. I'm just going to put a quick post on community board. Image, this one. Won't be a second. If you have joined live, you can feel free to ask your question in the chat box and I'll get to it in 6 minutes. Post that there. Hey Alex, huge fan of your content and 0 to paid cost. Oh, nice. Cheers, Daniel. Actually, I don't know if you saw, I just launched a new community, which is more like an accountability group. So I'll put the link in here if anyone's interested. And this is more for people who want a bit more extra coaching, hand-holding and accountability. I'll put that for you if anyone's interested. Got 6 lovely members in there so far. And I expect a lot more to join in the next few days, which is great. We're just hanging on a few more minutes. But yeah, if anyone's on it, we've got 2 people on it so far. Not a massive amount, but we should see more people drop on soon. What books impact you the most on your journey as a writer and entrepreneur? It's actually not the writing books themselves, right? It's more the marketing books and business books that have helped me. So anything on sales and marketing have directly impacted my writing. If you understand, like, for example, well, first of all, you have to be able to write good copy and understand how copywriting works. But then the level above that is kind of understanding how to talk to your audience, how to talk to your target market at their level, right? That's the key thing about copywriting that I've learned. That's in anything persuasive, sales, marketing, that is the key thing. And that's probably led to the most growth. So in terms of books, Breakthrough Advertising, that's a copywriting specific book, but also a very good marketing book. What other books have stood out for me? Oversubscribed is a great book. That's not directly copywriting, but that's a really great book to read. What else? Both of Alex Hormozi's books in terms of business. So $100 million offers, $100 million leads. Those 2 books absolutely kill it. And I probably wouldn't even recommend any other business books, really. Those are the best and easiest to understand. Yeah, Breakthrough Advertising is a really good book. It's hard to get through. It's quite like hard to read, but there's a section there about sophistication levels, and that's the most important part of that book. If you can grasp that and apply it to your copywriting, your work, you will crush it. I'm just going to write another quick email now. It'll be a sec. Be a second. Duplicate. One second, send another message. Cool. And third. 30. Cool. All right, that's done. We are good to go. We've got some more people joining. Should I start to do a deep learning period of copyright and then start outreach after I master the craft a little bit? I think a lot of people, this is kind of like procrastination, right? You're trying to become perfectionist before you even start. If I were you, I would do them both in line. So I would be doing like 50% learning copywriting to start with, 50% outreach, and then slowly shift towards 8% outreach, 20% learning copywriting. Just like you need clients, right? And you'll never get to a point where like, well, I personally wouldn't try to become a perfectionist in copywriting before you start outreaching to clients. I would do them both in line and go from there. And you will learn through experience of having clients. Do we need a website? If yeah, what should it contain? Website, I would recommend if you want to build a website, use a website builder called Card. I'll put a link in the chat now for you guys. It's like a landing page builder that's like $20 for the year. It's really easy to use and it creates some really good landing pages. That's what I use my landing page builder. That's why I build my pages on. But you don't need a website. Don't get caught into the trap of needing a website as a copywriter. You don't. Social media is your digital resume nowadays. You need a one-page landing page. You don't really even need that, but I personally just would have one. And then I would have a domain, so like yourname.com, and then that would be linked to the website you build on Card. So somebody would go to yourname.com, and that would be your landing page or something like that. How much SHK? What does that mean? I'm not sure what SHK means. How much should I charge my first client, or should I work for free? So I got a concept from, I think it was Ali Abdaal once, called the permissionless apprenticeship, right? And this is essentially where you're doing work for free without asking anyone to work for them. So the way I like to think about this, you want to provide insane value to someone, right? Before even asking for money. Now, obviously, when you get good at this, you'll start getting people coming to you for work. And you can obviously charge people straight out the gate. My best results have come from going and finding problems or things that I can see that I could improve on someone's landing page, their email sequences, product descriptions, anything, and just fixing it for them straight there and then just giving it them and saying, look, I've done this here. Feel free to go and use it. That's it. And then you can almost say as well, look, if you want to do anything else together, here's what I could potentially propose for you. You essentially want to show you are genuinely interested in a business first, and that you can make them money, right? Why would they give you money if you can't make them money? It's like a no-brainer. Sorry. So the past few months, I've been outreaching and working with businesses in the combat sports space. Nice. I'm currently making 1K, and I'm having trouble leveraging my past wins to land bigger gigs. Okay, so are you, Daniel, are you struggling with like charging higher prices or understanding how to position yourself so you can charge higher prices, if that makes sense? Like what are you offering people for 1K? Should I have a professional Insta account to start? No, you can use whatever Instagram account you already have. I would recommend having a few hundred followers on there and just presenting yourself in a way that shows that you are a professional and you are somewhat of a writer. So just having writer or copywriter in your bio is enough. A decent headshot of like shoulders upwards, that's always great. And then some just, some genuine photos or videos or content that shows you are a person. That's all you need. You don't need an Instagram account that has all these things about you trying to show people that you are an expert in copywriting. That's all. Like, it can help, but I'm convinced that people buy from people, right? And they just want to know that you're a genuine person. And then you can do all your showing that you're an expert through your DMs and stuff. Appreciate your answer, man, but what should it contain exactly? So your landing page, if you build a one-page landing page, me personally, I would think of it as almost like a longer extended bio. So you would explain a little bit about what you've done or what you do or who you work with. I would even have a little video on there. You can record a video on a software like Loom. So that's like a screen recording software. It's free. I would also then have on there your offer. So I go through this in 0 to Paid course about how to create an offer. You need a no-brainer offer. You need an offer that people will feel stupid for saying no kind of thing. So it has to either make a business more money or save them time. They're the two main things you can really do. For example, that could be generating more leads for someone in a specific time frame. It could be saving someone X number of hours a week because you are helping them with email marketing. It could be being able to increase the conversion rate on landing pages by 1%, which doesn't sound like much, but if a company or a brand is selling a product for a few £1,000s of dollars and you increase the conversion rate by 1%, that's a big number, right? So there's all these little things you can do, and you can create many different offers. Alex Hormozy's $100 million offers is a book I'd recommend people read. It's really good. Do you think growth operator is in natural progression in direct response or sales copywriting? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Can you rephrase that? Direct response, I think this is what you mean, but you might have to just clarify it. So direct response is where you're getting someone to take a direct action. So for example, if somebody reads an email you've written and there's one call to action there to buy a product or to click a link, that is direct response. You're trying to get somebody to directly do something. Whereas I am more now of the mindset of building a personal brand and like showing people that you are everywhere and letting people come to their own decision of if they want to work with you or not. Like a more organic approach than a pushy, buy this right now. And obviously sometimes you do need some scarcity and urgency in your writing, but the longer term approach to this is to build something that is almost more like a personal brand, right? A longer term game. I'm writing emails to 2 clients and I ran 5 email sequence for one of the biggest names in the space. I made them over 7K. Nice. Prior, he wasn't making anything near that with email. So that's amazing. I assume that those results would be attract to others in the space, but it's been months since that campaign. And I'm almost shocked, to be honest, that I haven't been able to land another. So do you have any kind of before and after results that show taking a client from 0 to 7K a month or you've helped somebody make 7K basically? Because if you have that, that's almost like a sales flywheel for you. That's almost like helping you do the sales for you, I would use that. Yep, I have his Klaviyo screenshots. Okay, so then it's probably coming down to, how much are you currently charging? Like 1K? Like what are you charging? So I kind of want to be a secret. So I have 900 followers on Instagram. That's a good start. Or 800, sorry. I have this feeling that I don't want my friends, for example, to know it. Maybe that is something mentally that I need to fix. completely understand where you're coming from, because I used to be exactly the same. I wanted to be this elusive person that no one really knew about. I wanted to keep it quiet for my friends, my family, what I was doing. But generally, like, you don't have to be sharing things on social media to show that you are a writer. You know, you can still just share things about your day-to-day life and all the stuff you would usually share on social media, right? You just need something in the bio to show you are a copywriter, like what you do, right? It is also a mindset barrier as well. Like, it's also a limiting belief you will get over. I had the same feelings towards friends and family for me, so I can understand where you're coming from with that. I usually post in gym stories and motivational things. Maybe I just brand myself. Yeah, exactly. I would do that and just like give no fucks. How should my outreach or message sound when I'm sending them their rewritten copy? You basically just want to be super casual about it, right? So if you have gone out and found something you can fix or make improve for somebody with your writing, you want to come across completely like you don't want anything in return. You're just like, hey man, I wrote this for you. I am currently at risk. Like, you want to be honest as well. You could even say something along the lines of, look, I've been doing this copywriting things for a few months now. I'm still practicing and learning. I've written this because I see some leaks in your bucket. I feel that if we plug these on your landing page, that would increase the conversion rate. Feel free to check it out and go and plug it in if you think it's necessary. And that's it. And then you could even like, if they follow up back with you, you could then start pursuing a conversation about, look, like, do you want to do anything in the future? Maybe I can have a look around your funnels or your products and see if there's anything else I can improve. And you can start the conversation there. In the beginning with copywriting, like, I personally would just be trying to get money in the bank, because money in the bank for you or for people watching this could just be the building confidence and momentum, right? And then once you get to a point where you start working with a number of clients, then you can have like a real specific offer that you only offer. So that could be like an email package, a landing page package, or something like that. And you become that go-to person for that thing. But in the beginning, I would almost just be like, think of yourself as the jack of all trades, right? I know in the course that I do say email is the best to start with. I just think it is, but you can also go through someone's landing page by finding people on YouTube, finding things to optimize through that, and just giving it to them. And that is then your experience as well. So people talking about doing, like, should I be learning copywriting and then doing outreach? But this is like getting experience by becoming this permissionless apprenticeship, by doing this permissionless apprenticeship, you know? And it's not a bad thing. Where are we at on the questions? Lost track. Okay, I meant growth operation as making whole sales funnels with emails, ads on Facebook and other social media, and sales page, landing page for your clients, while upgrading clients' offers, either product or service based on market research. I just think that sounds overcomplicated. Just go and find clients on YouTube, Instagram, and start trying to find things you can improve, right? I assume you're just starting out, sorry if I butcher your name. Darius. Sorry if I butchered your name, but if you're just starting out, sorry, you literally just need to get money in the bank and get some wins under your belt. Don't start trying to overcomplicate it by thinking about building whole sales funnels and whole email campaigns. Yes, 100% you can do that. And I even have a video on this channel about how you can build an email list from scratch, like an email list system for a client who doesn't have an email list. That's a massive project, but it's also like one of the most valuable ones any business owner could have, or any freelance copywriter could offer, right? So it's offering people with an audience. So it's offering a business owner who has an audience but doesn't have an email list, and offering to build them a complete system for this. So that's like lead magnet, landing page, welcome emails. What's the upsell once they're in those emails to a product? Like, how does it all work? Building it all, implement it all, like a hands-off approach almost. Best way to practice writing copy. There's a whole module of that in my course. I will just give you a link if you're interested. And for any of you guys joining late, I don't know if you guys saw the email I sent out yesterday. I launched a new community, which people will be asking for. So I will again, I'll link this in the chat now as well. It's a school community, and people were asking for more help, more accountability, that sort of stuff. And it's $1 a day. It's like $30 a month. It's like ridiculous. And that's more like all the course material is in that school group as well. But what you're getting in the community that you're not getting just by accessing the course is the accountability, more access to me, being able to ask your questions in the chat and get responses pretty fast, and probably access to more masterclasses and more trainings in the future. That's what it's more geared towards. That's there if anyone wants to check it out. Do you have to hop on a sales call? You can actually close clients over a DM, no bother, especially if you're just starting out. Sales calls or like discovery calls or just a chat with someone. I don't really like calling them sales calls. You just literally jump on a call to see if you can help somebody out. That's it. And just trying to have their best interest in mind. Like the law of reciprocity here pays off massively. So if you go and do some good work for someone, like I can almost guarantee if you did good work for 100 people or 50 people on YouTube and Instagram, you would 100% get one paying client out of this, right? Off the back end of it. So if that's the case, a lot of you guys aren't putting in enough effort, or like maybe you're in the wrong boat. Sorry. So like you could be rowing hard, but you might be in the wrong boat going the wrong direction. Does that make sense? And these could be really simple tweaks as to who you're reaching out to, what you're saying, what you're offering. But if you go with this permissionless apprentice approach of just going out and helping people without expecting anything in return to start with, you'll be in a much better position when it comes to offering your services, right? If a client wants me to create an email for them that will address customers by name, how do I make it where the name can be changed in the email so they can use the email for multiple people? Well, there's just a bit of code that goes in the email. It's like 2 brackets and like first name. That's it. Do you stick to one thing? For example, you're into beauty niche, then do you only do that? Why not mix? I mean, it helps if you've got some knowledge in an industry. So personally, I wouldn't go and write in the beauty niche because I've never been in the beauty niche. But you might be. You might have a little bit of an interest in that. You might have an active passion for going searching things out in that. But the good thing about copywriting is if you understand like frameworks of copywriting and how to write persuasive writing, you can apply it to any niche. It doesn't matter. Like I've done writing in the terrorist niche. I've done writing in a niche where people were selling products for teaching people how to survive if they got kidnapped by terrorists. Like the weirdest niches, right? And I've never been into that, but just have to do some more research. But generally, I used to stick to e-commerce because that's just what I knew. E-commerce and online education. Sorry. So you've been a huge inspiration, man. I wanted to ask you what you think is the best way to authentically outreach: DM, video, or cold email. I appreciate that. Thank you, Jeremy. I would say DM, and there's an app called Bonjoro. So Bonjoro, or you can do a video message to someone on Instagram DM, or a Bonjoro message, which is like the same thing, like a face video. If you're confident enough and want to do that, that's like an instant trust builder. So I love using video to do that. I'm currently working on myself mentally because I think that's the only barrier. So I will give myself a year. What do you think? 100%. A lot of you people in here, right? I'll just point out something really interesting because I've been through this, and by no means am I perfect. And I don't want to be coming across this guy sat on this pedestal telling you all what to do below me. I'm just trying to give you what's worked for me, right? Or what's helped me. And a lot of people already know what to do. They just seek courses and communities for accountability, a kick up the arse, and just to like almost to asking permission, like, is this the right thing I should be doing? They want validation. They want to know, yes, this is the correct step to take next, right? Whereas if you don't have a mentor or anything, you're literally just taking shots in the dark and trying all these different things until something works. You're just knocking on all these doors, right? Whereas once you have a proven process, like a course or a mentor who's already done all this, you just follow in their footsteps. And a lot of people are stuck with this barrier, this mindset barrier, because they're just confused like a headless chicken. Like that's literally the best way I could describe it. Give yourself a year to do it. You probably don't even need to give yourself a year to do it, but having a long-term mindset with this is critical. There's a lot of people that will start this. Maybe some of you guys in this chat who will start this with all great intentions, but you will give up at the first hurdle because you don't sign a paying client in like a week. right? You have to stick this out. The sales cycle of you getting clients will reduce every time you get a client. Your first client will probably be the longest time you will spend getting a client because you don't know what to do. Even with a mentor, it's just something new, right? Then the sales cycle or the conversion window shortens and shortens and shortens until you can literally enroll clients on autopilot. Okay. Where are we at now? I like talking about mindset because I think it's the bigger picture of all this stuff. And it's probably what holds most people back. Alex, I'm an email copywriter and wonder when I sign clients and I don't know how to do automation, should I learn it or just write them email sequences? Well, as a copywriter, I've never plugged email sequences into like platforms. I've always just delivered my email sequences and copy in a Google document, and then the company would usually have a tech person to send the emails, right? It doesn't take long to learn automations and stuff, but it's just another job for you as a writer to do, which I think as a copywriter, you should just be focusing on the writing. What niche are you in and what form of copy do you do? Like I said before, I'm primarily just write emails. In the education and online education space is probably the biggest bulk of where my income comes from. Outside of all the other stuff that's going on. Can some clients ask for smaller non-copywriting related tasks along the copywriting as well? They could do, but be very wary that you don't get dragged down a rabbit hole of doing all this small minutia stuff just for nothing and wasting your time. Because you could be putting that time into going and getting bigger fish clients, right? And leveraging your time and resources better. How long can market research take? That's quite a broad question, but like you should always be market researching. Your research never stops. Never stops. You said before that you shouldn't stick to training so much, but in the same time, if you don't have a good copy, then why bother and get in a call with you? What do you think? Well, that's for you to decide, but I personally would be learning copywriting and trying to do this permissionless apprentice thing. So like you are getting experience on the job at the same time. Does that make sense? And like if you're just starting out on this, you probably will suck at the start. That's the best way to describe it. But you will slowly start getting better, right? Until you're at a point where you're confident. That's where you want to get to. You want this confidence. And then the confidence will produce results. If I sent my website now, could you review it? I'd really appreciate it. I don't really have time to do that. Maybe reviewing copy is something I probably will offer inside the copy club in the paid community, but I can't just start reviewing copy for nothing. It just like I don't have enough time basically. Yeah, I made some money with emails, so I wondered how can I build a bigger offer and to not leave it without question. Community provide whole course because I would buy course, but I like community more. So I'll just give you the course is the thing that came first. So I built Zero to Paid as like a step-by-step course for people to get started with copywriting and start outreach and start landing clients, right? That's like a whole system. I've also added that course into the community. So as soon as you join the copy club in school, which there is a link in this chat somewhere for it, if you're interested, that's $30 a month. And the course is in that as well. But what you're getting in the community that you're not getting with just the course is the community. So it's being surrounded by like-minded people, getting a little bit more access to me being able to answer your questions as a priority, and access to more trainings and masterclasses, which will only be shared in that community. Okay. I was just giving people what they asked for. They asked for a community, so I built one. Yeah. Where are we at now? I'm going on YouTube, typing in my keyword, finding the YouTuber's email and emailing them. I also don't care what copy anything to the right place. Can you reword that? I can't understand that. Look Z. The first part is correct. I would do the same, going on YouTube and searching keywords and key phrases, and then making notes of the YouTubers that come up, and then starting doing research. Sorry, one sec. And then started doing research down their funnels, looking what they're offering, seeing what you can improve. That's exactly what I would do. I don't think I can do a screen share, though. I'll show you what I would do. In fact, I think I've sent 15. I'm new. What is better, call, email, DM? I think they're both as good as each other. I prefer DM. It's a faster way to start the conversation. How can you actually change your mindset? I don't find it helpful just say certain words and actually try to think about different things. Do you have a better way to do it? Yeah. So Fernando, like the way your mindset changes is when you convince it of another path. And the only way to do that is by doing whatever you're freaking scared of. So if like, say for example, if jumping on sales calls is scary for you, or jumping on a face-to-face call with someone you've never met before, you need to do more of that. You need to face the fear head on. And I can guarantee you do this once and you realize how bullshit this fear is inside your own head. A lot of the stuff that you are scared of, or like this holding you back right now in terms of like mindset, is all just built up stories in your head that doesn't even exist. And I don't like being so blunt with this stuff, but that's exactly how I have felt with it and how I've dealt with it. If you're scared to do something, that's probably the thing you need to do in anything, right? Hi, man. I tried everything, but not able to find a client. Okay. Aaron, are you inside my course or community? If not, I probably would recommend joining that. So I write emails, put them in a Google Doc, and then let them send it by themselves. So yeah. So I think people get confused with like when I say about doing copywriting for clients and just focusing on emails, right? You don't need an email list. You don't need an email server. You don't need any of this stuff. You need a Google document, which is where you're going to write your emails. The client will have an email list, email platform, and everything else. You then write the campaigns in a Google Doc and you send it to them. And then they schedule it. You're the copywriter. You're writing the copy. They're relying on you as the expert to write the copy for them. They're not hiring you as the expert to plug everything in. At least that's how it was for me. I was hired as the copywriter for most of my clients to write the copy. And I delivered that in a Google Doc because Google documents are free. They're easy to access for a whole team of people. The client can leave comments or edits on it. They can, they can make modifications to it. They can tell you what they do and don't like. It's a very easy process to edit. I just don't overcomplicate it. That's the biggest thing I can tell you guys. If you're thinking something is like not valuable because it's too simple, that's the wrong end of the stick. Like the best things in anything is being simple and simplicity. So if you're trying to make something so complex and you think, okay, I'm going to build my offer out, I'm going to add all these email campaigns and landing paging, do this to the client, do that, do this to that. It's too complex. Like keep it simple. The client wants you to help them make more money or save them time. They're the two main things you can literally only do, near enough, right? Making them more money could be helping them get more clients, get more leads, increase conversions. Saving them time could be taking email copywriting off their plate completely, which they may have previously been doing, and just doing it for them. Saving them time so they can focus on other tasks to grow their business. So I write emails, put them in a Google. Yeah. Why do copywriters slag off dropshipping when you can make true passive income dropshipping compared to copywriting? I'll give you my take on passive income, and you're probably not going to like this, right? I have done probably every single type of of e-commerce you can do. I've done dropshipping, I've done retail arbitrage, I've done wholesaling, I've done private label, right? And they all work, right? Which is really funny. And there's no such thing as passive income. Even when you are making money while you sleep and having to generate, you've already done the work to get that. And then there's all the work involved in keeping that passivity going or active income coming in. There's never a point where you reach true passive income where you can sit back and do nothing, right? You still have to maintain things. That's just how the world works, in my opinion. You may have a different experience. I've never had, I don't know why dropshipping has got a bad name. It just happens. Some people, it's like really got a bee in their bonnet about it. It makes money, it works. If somebody else can make a business out of it, fair enough. It's not for me. I don't feel like I know enough about. I know enough to start a business and teach it, but it's not something I want to focus on. for me, the reason I put this course and community together and jump on these calls like this is because copywriting was the first thing that I started when I left my 9-to-5 job, because it was the easiest thing to start. It was the lowest barrier to entry. I was kind of good at writing. I was passionate about wanting to work on the internet, make money on the internet, and work for whatever I wanted. And I didn't have to have all this upfront inventory and spend loads of money on products before I even made any money. Like, you have two main resources, guys. You've got your time and your money. If you're just starting out, you may not have any money. You may just have limited budget, but you have a ton of time or some time. That's a resource. Invest it to start making money, and then you can start reinvesting your money into growing the business. That's how it all works. Our foreign businesses and coaches is willing to work with copywriters from America. As American businesses, I want to be able to diversify my client base. 100%. I've worked with clients from all over the world, from South Africa, America, Australia, New Zealand, all countries in Europe. That's just there's no barrier. There's no barrier like that. How to do research? There's a whole module of that in the course of mine. Go and check it out. There's no one magic business model. It's whatever you go all in. Right. That's on the money there. Look easy. That's really good to say that. So, like I said before, most people will start copywriting, maybe some of you in this group, and you will give up because you don't see results in like a few weeks. You have to adopt a long-term mentality with this, right? See this YouTube plaque here, right? You get this. I got this for having 100,000 subscribers on another channel I've got. That took 6 years to get, right? So I've been making videos on YouTube for 6 years. And it was only in the last 2 years where the growth was like exponential. But I know a lot of people who have started channels on YouTube and they've given up so fast because they've not had this one viral hit. You have to have this long-term mentality of like, right, I'm going to enjoy the process. I'm just going to turn up and I'm going to show up. I'm going to make a video. I'm going to do the thing and just keep going and keep going and keep going. And what you're actually doing is you're depositing into a bank, essentially. You're depositing your resources into this bank, which you then can later withdraw it, right? Does that make sense? And that goes for literally anything. What is the best type of copywriting in your opinion? I would probably just say email copywriting, because that's what I've mainly always done. But like I keep saying, copywriting is copywriting is copywriting. You can apply it to landing pages, emails, paid advertising, anything. It doesn't matter. Are you worried about the global economy getting nuked? Well, what like, I'm not worried about it because I can't really do anything about it. Like, if we all end up like on fire and we aren't here in a few years' time, then what can we do about it? We've got some real weird people running the country, put it that way, and making these stupid frigging decisions. I've never voted. I'm not into politics. I think it's all BS, if I'm honest with you. I just try and stay in my lane and do my own thing. And try and, I think one of my main drivers actually is trying to be completely self-sustained. So this is why building financial freedom for myself and showing others how to do it is so important for me. And so like I have such a passion for it, because relying on somebody else for your income is stupid. Like an employer, sorry, because they can pull the rug from underneath you at any time. Whereas if you understand how to generate money on the internet, you're a lot freer than someone who can't do that. Would you recommend to go in-house and find a 9-to-5 copywriting job, struggling with the whole freelance thing? I mean, you can do that. I'm not against that. And that could probably open doors and start getting some money in the door. And then you could start learning. You would then obviously have on-the-ground experience. I've never done that though, but I know some people who have worked for agencies and stuff, and you will definitely work in a lot harder, and your flexibility will definitely be challenged because you won't have this flexibility. They'll basically say to you, well, if you can complete this amount of tasks, these amount of emails in this many hours, or this amount of copywriting in this many hours, then why don't you just do 6 more hours? You know what I mean? You almost get penalized for working faster and becoming better at your craft, which is why I don't like charging by the hour either. Is ghostwriting a good way to gain experience? That's what I used to do, Jeremy. I used to be a ghostwriter for some quite like big names. I get that you get writing experience, but the whole point of ghostwriting is to give credit to someone else, so it would be difficult to reference it. It's going good. You maybe have to answer that question again. I'm quite confused why you've asked that. Give the link to your other channel. My other channel is called Wolfpack Adventures. It's like a mountain bike channel, which is why I started copywriting in the first place, so I could have the money and time to go and ride my mountain bike. How do I find the clients for the newsletter? Newsletters seem like a simple one, but how do I know they don't have one? Not familiar with this version. You can find out whether a client has a newsletter by just literally looking on their YouTube channel. So like, if you find an online educator or creator on YouTube or Instagram, they're posting content on those platforms because they are sending people somewhere else. I can guarantee it. Like, I'm on YouTube because I want you guys to join my course or join my community. That, like, if you don't join it, I don't really care, but it's there if you want to buy it or you want to join it. But that's why I'm creating content, to share and help people to get started. If they want to take the next step and want more help, the option is there. And you'll find with anyone who is an educator on these platforms will have something to sell someone or something to take the next step. So it's very easy to find whether a client has a newsletter or not. Just go and look in their about section on YouTube and see where they're sending people, or look in their description on their YouTube videos. Like, just watch what I'm doing. Like, don't listen to what I'm just literally just watch what I'm doing and you'll see. Like, that makes sense. Did you watch One Piece or Attack on Titan? I'm not that is. Alex, how do you make a contract? Like, you just take some templates and write some stuff. In stuff, I mean legal things. I've never had a contract. All my stuff has just been completely loosely done. I've never needed a contract. I've never signed an NDA, like a non-disclosure agreement or anything with a client. I've never worked in anything like that where I've been like sworn to secrecy on something. So I wouldn't know how to write a legal contract. But the likes of ChatGPT now, you could probably give it some ideas and it would write a contract for you in 2 seconds. No way your Wolfpack Adventures, lol. Remember your viral vid years back? I've had quite a few now. I think in the last year or so, I've had about 9 viral videos with like 11+ million views. Done some crazy stuff. So things have gone really well on that channel. If you're writing a long sales page for a client, how do you interview your client? You could, well, if you need to interview them, you could just jump on a phone call with them and ask them questions and record it. You could then take that transcript and give it to ChatGPT and say, hey, can you analyze this transcript? And can you help me organize this into a landing page or sales page? And that would give you the bare bones structure of a landing page or sales page. And then you could just go and tweak it with your human side, right? This is where, like, ChatGPT is interesting because I never solely rely on it, I never recommend you would, but I think of it as a personal assistant. It saved me so much time. It's like I've got this right-hand person all the time, right? That's how you should think about ChatGPT. And it won't replace copywriters. If anyone's asking that, it will not replace copywriters. If anything, in the future, copywriters will have to adapt and become like copywriters who know how to leverage AI, right? I mean, if you think you're going to get replaced by AI, you probably will. You probably will. Isn't it risky though? I mean, I don't think it's risky, but if you want a contract in place, then fair enough. If you're writing alongside, no, I'm new and I can't stop thinking to myself, no way someone would pay me 1K. I keep telling myself, ask like 200 or something. Right. Okay. So money mindset, big topic, big barrier for most people, or a lot of people. The people who pay you the least are the most frigging hassle. And you will understand this when you start working with clients who try and penny pinch and pay the least. You get a high ticket client, like a high ticket client paying you a couple of grand a month or whatever. They're the best clients. Not only are they paying you more money, they trust you as the experts. They just let you get on with what you are there to do. They don't question it, right? That's a money mindset thing, right? And with this, it's hard when you're starting out because you just don't know your value. But say, for example, you can charge $1,000. Then the next time, right, you want to charge, and this is just trial and error, right? Charge whatever you think is right. If there is no pushback from a client and you're confident in your offer, then you've gone in too low. But then what you need to do then is take that forward, and next time increase your price a little until you start getting a bit of resistance from your client. That will then give you the confidence to charge more, and it will also show you where your ceiling is at that moment in time, or where your money thermostat is currently set. There's a book on money mindset which I would recommend people read, and it's called, I actually can't even remember what it's frigging called, which is really annoying. Money mindset is something you just work through though, and it's something that comes again with experience. It's hard to charge a lot of money when you're starting out because again, you're in that process of thinking like, shit, these people won't pay me this much money. How can I possibly charge that? It's something you just work up like steps in a ladder, right? What's the best type of paying agreement? Like, do you like to get paid up front? What do you think? Okay, so there's three ways you can get paid from a client, and I'll tell you my best bit of advice for this. So first is that a client can pay you all 100% up front. Now, some clients will do this. A lot of people will not do this, okay? Because this is risky to a client, especially a new one, because they then have to fork out this money for something that they haven't even paid for yet, right? So it's a risk to them. It's a perceived risk, no matter how good you are as a person, a copywriter. That's just what they think. Then you have the 50-50 model. 50% before you start a project, 50% after you finish the project. This is my preferred way of doing things because, one, it gives you and the client both skin in the game, so you're both committed to some extent, but it also gives you a carrot to chase because you know if I finish this project or when I finish this project, I get another 50% owed, right? If a client pays you everything up front, I can guarantee the same motivation, the drive to keep going won't be there. You'll probably still do the work, but it's just, for me, it's a bit of a mindset shift. And then obviously the best for a client is for them to pay you when they're happy with your work because there's no risk then. And then it's like, well, okay, I'll just pay this copywriter when he's completed the work that was promised. Easy peasy. It's not something they have to worry about right now or anything like that. This is something you'll have to figure out, but those are the main three ways that someone can pay you. And then obviously there's like, so you can like, the longer term approach to this would be taking a revenue share. Okay. So if you, for example, write a piece of copy for a client for a webinar or a VSL or something, and that VSL continues to be used and generates money for a client, you can negotiate a revenue share. So for 12 months, 6 months, 2 years, whatever it would be, you would get a certain percentage of that, what those emails or what that copywriting produces for the client, which again, it's kind of passive income, I guess. But if you can get loads of these little passive income streams coming in, like revenue share deals, I think I'm going to do some more videos on revenue shares because it's really cool. Good way to leverage your time. I'm going to go in a sec, guys. When this clock reaches 50 minutes, 3 minutes, ghostwriting and credit for. So if you want to reference your work as a potential client, couldn't be hard. You could give it credit. You don't have to give credit. You could just say you worked for somebody in this niche. You helped this person go from here to whatever. Some people won't want you to share those details. Like clients may want to keep that private, but you can ask them that. But you can also then just keep it generic and say, look, I helped this person who is this person in this space. I helped them go from this to this. Future clients just want to see that you can do what you say you're promising, right? How much can you make a month? Well, the sky's literally the limit. Like you can make £1,000 a month, you can make 50k a month, 70k a month. I've never made that much as a copywriter. I capped out about 12k a month as my best month, right? Again, I try and be completely honest with you guys. Like there's a lot of people on YouTube who will spout these big numbers around. I'm promising you guys, or not even promising, I'm sharing information to help you get off the ground, right? To get your first few paid clients, start making some damn money online. And then you can do whatever you want. Like you can grow it. You can quit copywriting if you don't like it. But I'm just trying to help you get off the ground and get your first few clients. And I'm hoping I'm coming across as transparent and honest as I possibly can. What is the condition you need to have in your Instagram account to do the outreach? Number of posts. I mean, a few hundred followers, couple of posts that show you are legit, show that you are a human being. That's all you need. I saw a very reputable person say copywriting is too saturated and competitive, so no one should do it in 2024. How do you navigate challenges like that? You just ignore it and just carry on. Nothing is ever too saturated. That's the biggest load of horse crap ever. Like, it's just not. Just a big limiting belief to stop people starting things. How do you work in a day for one? How long do you work in a day for one client? Well, I don't actually do as much copywriting as I used to now. I'm doing more in the community to help people start their copywriting journey, but it's usually about an hour, 2 hours a day max. Not a lot. Better to go for YouTube for clients or like an actual business when you type them into Google, for example. I personally would, if you're looking to work with online creators and educators, then use YouTube. Apart from your course, is there any other course you recommend? I don't know. There's probably others out there. I will put mine in the chat now if anybody's interested. I'm actually going to boost them in it because I need some dinner. But I will put, there's a course there, link there if anyone wants to join that or check it out. Again, no pressure. And community is there. Community is obviously where you get more handhold and accountability. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it was a bit impromptu. Maybe I should start scheduling these a bit more often and giving you guys a bit more time. But I just had some time. So I was like, you know what, let's just jump on and do a quick live stream. Appreciate it. Keep doing what you're doing. Value part of every video. Cool. I appreciate it. Like, I'm just trying to share what's worked for me. I'm not trying to overhype anything. I'm just sharing what's worked. I love writing, and realistically speaking, how long should it take you to get a client? First client, between 2 and 4 weeks to get a client. It could even be less than that, but I don't want to promise anything because I don't know what your work ethic is like. Right. Ending this stream now, guys. Take care. Have a great weekend, and I will catch you on the flip side.